All right, but now we're going to move on to our next topic, and one, if not the biggest movies coming out this holiday season is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. It's the first standalone Star Wars movie not tied to the episodes. We want to talk a bit about this. There have been some amazing trailers coming out for this movie over the past couple of months. What do you're a huge Star Wars aficionado, yeah. Jones. What are you looking forward to in this film?
I'm looking forward to seeing just the general tone of the movie. I think that's like the biggest curiosity that I have, is that like if you remove all of these elements that even outside of film and all of the different like comic books and TV shows and stuff like that, there's always kind of been a way to do Star Wars. Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what separates this from the other films that we're familiar with.
All right. What about you guys? Anything that you're sort of curious about? I mean, new team of characters. Obviously some hints of some familiar characters being involved in the story, but it has a different dynamic. As you
Probably
said.
the first Star Wars film I watch where I want the bad guys to win. And I know they're going to win.
Yeah. Hey, they're going to have to get the plans, right?
It's strange that you're rooting for Vader the whole time, but you already know the outcome. It's a kind of a strange story to tell, but I think that's sort of kind of interested to see, like, what are the nuances? What are the little things that they're gonna say? Oh, that little guy with the gun who was like following the X-wings when they were landing. What's his story?
Yeah. No, and it seems like it's the trailers. I mean, there's such an authenticity, and it's going back to the era of the original trilogy, and just seeing the feel of it. Even that last trailer, like Mads Mikkelsen, his character, and
they're tapping into something that I think we all, our childhood, definitely craved at some point, and. But it looks modern. That's the thing. It doesn't look exactly like the 1977 New Hope or Star Wars back then.
Is there? Speaking of the original three, is there a favorite for you out of all those Star Wars
films? Out of films?
Yeah.
I'm a Return of the Jedi nut, just because I grew up non-ironically liking the Ewoks. Like I'll still take that stance. But just the epic standoff between Luke and Vader, the Jabba and all that sequence, the death of Yoda. There's just so many heavy moments in that movie. And it's the one I remember from my childhood, because I was first one came out. I was not alive.
Watching it many times, probably on your VHS.
Many, burnt that VHS tape out for sure.
Yeah, Trench Run area just starts to get all messed up. Or I guess Trench Run 2, Tube Run, whatever it's called. I don't know. Rogue One is really fascinating to me because, frustratingly, it always seemed like the coolest or most interesting parts of Star Wars are between the films.
Yeah.
So we never really get to see the Empire at play, making everything terrible. They set up at 3, and then they kind of get their first big hit in 4. Yeah. And you never see that middle area where life's really crappy for everybody in the solar system. So I'm hoping that the tone of the movie will reflect that. We'll see times being really bad, and also the rebellion being really scattered and not really a force to be reckoned with. Because I imagine it was just a group of, like, a lot of farmers, basically. Yeah. But when the Death Star went down, suddenly, oh, these guys have a shot. And then, you see them in Empire, and they're in a base, and they actually have organization and rank and all this stuff. So they become a military organization. But it'd be fun to see it rolled even back when they've got nothing. They've got no communication. They got no hope. And that's supposedly what the movie was supposed to be about, right?
Can kick ass.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of mystery around this film, like all things Star Wars. We've seen some great stuff. It sounds like there'll be some more surprises when it finally comes out in December. And it actually right now is time to give you what you've been waiting for. One of the most anticipated movies of the year is here, and we're so excited to share this extended special look with you at Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Check it out.
If I'd known since I was 4 that I was going to be shooting a Star Wars film, I would have planned it all my life.
This film, these characters, this story I grew up with. It's a whole world I've been thinking about for quite a long time.
You can feel everyone in the crew and the cast kind of stops and just takes that in, and you remember, oh, we're actually in Star Wars.
It's like the world's greatest toy set. It's a bit like being that kid again. With Star Wars figures. Stormtroopers over here, and then this happens, there's an explosion. It's been a lot of fun. It's the greatest job in the world. Rogue One takes place very close to Episode 4. The simplest way to explain it is that text you see at the beginning of A New Hope. That is essentially our movie.
They call it the Death Star. Terrible weapon. But there's a way to defeat it.
Jin's starting to put together a team.
She wants to fight.
We all do. How many do we need?
It is an ensemble movie, but at the heart of it is a strong woman.
The time to fight is now. Every day they grow stronger.
All these characters are real heroes that are willing to risk everything.
Light the place up and make 10 men feel like 100.
Through their journey, we see the formation of the Rebel Alliance and the stealing of the Death Star plans.
Anyone not willing to risk being left behind? Now's your chance to speak up.
That is a bad idea.
Hey,
Quiet. They achieve what they achieve because they achieve it together.
This is Rogue One.
Very, very cool. Don't miss Rogue One, a Star Wars story in theaters in 3D and IMAX 3D, December 16th.